Love is a book that I've been kind of having in the back of my mind for quite some time. It's a book that I wanted to tell people about our own journeys to find love, to find out what true love is, and just how powerful that can be in your life. And I really wanted to get out there and explain that greatest love story, 1 Corinthians 13. And it is a story that really fits into my life, and it fits into a lot of people's lives. Once we find out what true love is, it really has an impact on our life. We can forget the stumbling around, and we can really concentrate on having a great life full of great love and what God's promise of love is for us. So that's kind of where I started this book from. And I'm pretty happy with the way that it's turned out so far.
Is this book something that you said that this is something that you had in you while you were writing the other books? So why did it take you so long? Was there something that you said, okay, that's it, now it's time to do it?
Yeah, I would say so. I think we're all on a path, always constantly trying to understand and more fully understand what love is. And when I went through a lot of my points in life, such as divorce, which is a big one, you end up having to reassess. And I found true love once again after that. And it kept kind of boiling out of me because I went through, and you'll read in the book, I went through a lot of stumbles in life, both as a young man trying to understand what love is and trying to understand the examples that my parents and others were giving me. And as I wrote these other books, I was helping others, and I thought, what is the big thing that teaches people how to live a great life? And that is the understanding of love. And so that's where the book kind of started coming out of, those first books that I wrote.
We're talking with Joe Prim. He's got a brand new book out. It's called Love Is, and we'll tell you where you can get it in just a few. Can you share with us maybe one story that stands out? Because this is a book about basically about stories and about the story of love. Do you have a story that sticks out that you can share with us?
Wow. Yeah, I tell you what, there are a lot of stories in here that I give of both my life growing up, and the experiences that I have. But I tell you, it's going to sound kind of odd, I suppose, to some, and you almost had to be there way back when, but it really starts in the beginning of the book where I last see my grandfather. And it's a vision that I, for many, many years, held in my mind, and it's, how you get those recurring pictures in your mind, and they're just crystal clear, as if they just happened. And this happened to be the one where I talk about my grandfather waving to me. And I was only 5 years old at the time. And he was a tall, spectacular man, well-dressed, always with the press shirt, always with the gum in his pocket. And he was standing at the end of our driveway on one of our farms that I grew up on. And he was waving at me. And I was standing quite some distance away and probably doing my own thing, messing about like farm boys do. And I waved back at him, not really realizing that was going to be the last time I saw him, because he moved to California with my grandmother, and he died the following year from a massive heart attack. And I held that in me for many, many years, trying to understand why that one instant had stuck with me. And it took quite a few years for me to understand that he was simply trying to say, goodbye, everything's going to be great. And to some people, I don't know if that fully resonates with them, but I don't know of any other reason why that would stick so closely in my mind. And I hold that today, that is what love is. When someone can give that to you, can look at you, give of themselves, and comfort you with their love. And that is the big one that kind of sticks out with me. Aside from meeting my beautiful wife, Laura, for the first time, two big moments in my life.
Well, you kind of take me into my next question, the conclusion that you want folks to feel and do. What is that conclusion?
Love. It's a really powerful thing in your life. There's a lot of things in life you can take. There's money to be made. There's relationships to be had. There's success in life. But really, what remains of anyone's life is love in the very end of everything that you've done in your life. And that's really kind of the driving story here is once you understand what God's love is for you and how you can express that love to others, your life is going to be complete, fully complete with love.
Well said. Joe Prim, latest book is called Love Is. Get yours at Amazon.com. Joe, thank you. God's blessings to you.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you to all your listeners.